happy 4th of July. Shout out to Mom for telling me to remind me to make sure my headphones are connected, and to my lovely client Stevie for the fantastic and very patriotic hands. So 4 exercises for the lower body, 4 exercises for the upper body, and then a big stability core finisher. So we're going to start with a variation on hack squat. So if you kind of make this setup happen, you can totally just do a heels elevated squat, right? Heels up on books or whatever. We're going to do a variation of a hack squat, which means my heels are going to be elevated and my back's going to come down super flat. So I'm going to use the roller to help me stay leaned back and parallel to the wall. That would be the cue I would give at the gym. Were we doing it freestanding on the gym floor? So if you're going to use a roller or something behind it, just sort of so you can think about staying upright and forward, you want to make sure that you start at your lower back because it's going to roll up as you come down. And then you want to make sure the knees stay out. And then we're just going to come straight down, shoulders stay back, super quad on this. When you have any knee stuff, this is probably not the exercise you use to find that like maybe wide-legged squat variation that works right. So knees stay out. First thing that happens is knees drive forward, shoulders stay back and down, come down to the bottom, squeeze back up. Shoulders bend a little bit, stay to the outside. So if you're finding this super easy, then you can grab a dumbbells, right, and make a variation that works for you. The slower you go up and down, the harder it's going to be. If you pause at the bottom, coming up will also be harder. So I propose 10 of these. I'm going to follow that with another squat variation that's more focused on the posterior side. So I would recommend grabbing something as heavy as you, not as heavy as you can, something relatively heavy. The trick on this squat variation is we're going to start from a seat. So we're going to start from a seat with nice upright posture. Feet relatively wide. We're going to hold the dumbbell just at chest height, and we're going to try and drive through the heels from a seated, i.e. no momentum position, and stand up. So tightening the core, shoulders stay back, up, squeeze to the top. Knees bend a little bit, spin back, sit down completely, squeeze to the top. Knees, hips, squeeze, knees, hips. Try to keep the torso relatively upright, making a full stop at the bottom. So you really have to figure out that momentum in the bottom. And again, I would say 10 of those, depending on the depth of your seat, obviously the harder it's going to get, right? You don't want to get to that point though where that hip is tucking under to reach the bottom, right? All right, so the next one, or the last 2 exercises, are sort of 2 rolled into one for the back. So this is like exercises 3 and 4. We're going to do a reverse lunge to a forward lunge, no pause in between. So I'm going to use a little bit of weight, and I'm going to go reverse lunge first, drop down, knee comes up, forward lunge, right back into that reverse lunge, and then back into that forward lunge. So just working back and forth. The in between on that working leg, it never taps down, right, unless it's in the forward or back position. So the work in the front is you're going to push back up off that front leg, push back up off the back leg, right? But in the middle each time, you're going to squeeze and get this leg turned on, keep the knee safe before you step forward or back into the next variation. That's a pretty tough move, especially if you add weight to it. So I would say maybe 8 per side, 8 total per side. So that'd be, 8 front to back. So 1, 2, etc. All right. So the legs should be pretty fried at that point. I'd front to back lunge, especially if you don't tap down in the middle, builds up a ton of tension in both the front side and back side of the leg. So it's a goodie. All right, so moving on to the upper body. I am not always a fan of combining moves, but since we've been working on all this sort of core stabilization, we're actually going to combine a dumbbell row to a shoulder press. So the weight is going to be light-ish for your row because your shoulders are going to be the limiting factor. What it's going to make you think about is that core position and a little bit of hip hinge in your row, right? So slightly bent knees, you're going to roll over. We're going to row. We're going to keep it here. Weight is going to swing to shoulders. Lock in the core. Reach up. Come back down. Row. Swing up. Come back down. So the swing up, 1, 2 row, the swing up is all hip drive. And that's actually what's going to get you set up for the shoulder press. So, excuse me, row, shoulder press. And on the shoulder press, ideally, we're not overarching back, right? We're trying to find some lift, but we want to keep this intact so the shoulders stay in a super safe position. So I say 10 to 12 of those, depending on the weight that you're going to use. If you get to failure on the shoulder press, ditch the shoulder press and just work on the row, right? Next exercise, we're going to do a variation on a chest press. You could totally just do the floor press we've been sort of working on, or the floor press with the isometric hold on one side. I'm going to add a band. This for a little bit more resistance at the top, and to make me think about where I am connecting my shoulders. So you want the band on kind of that mid-back, and I recommend starting with the weight in close to the body, so you're not in an odd position to start, and then you're going to squeeze up, and then slowly come down. Squeeze up, slowly come down, locking that lower rib cage, really thinking about where the shoulders are in space. And the band will really make you think about that as you come down. So 10 of those, way harder at the top than at the bottom, so that's where you want to judge your weight at. So I might usually use a 25 on this. I'm actually using a 10 instead of a light to medium band. So play around with whatever combination you need to. So bicep curl for the day. We're going to do an elbow back bicep curl. So usually we start with our elbows sort of here, maybe right by the side. We're going to try, maybe a little less. We're going to try and exaggerate where our elbows are in space. So you may have to hinge forward a little bit so the elbow can stay back. And then we're just going to be straight down and curl up. And you want to come all the way down to that straightened arm. And then reach up, squeeze at the top. And trying to squeeze that wrist into the bicep at the top. Dumbbell into the shoulder. Keep the core tight, try not to swing. So 10 to 12 of those again, so sort of vary depending on how much weight you have access to, or what gradations of weight you have access to. And then last but not least, we're going to do an overhead press with dumbbells. So I like to think about just like we've been sort of worked on in the past, so squeezing those dumbbells together, right? So my tendency is definitely to sort of reach back with my hips. So I'm going to try and tuck my hips under, keep my rib cage engaged. You want to come down far enough to feel the stretch, because we're working against that stretch reflex that will work that muscle in that tricep. So as I mentioned, overhead, right, we're working that long head, the tricep that connects to the back, keep the weight pressed together. All right, 10 to 12 of those. And then last but not least, super simple core So 30-second bear, 30-second high plank, 30 seconds side plank each side, low side plank. So here's the moves, a couple of cues. Tuck the toes, take the knees up, right hands nice and open, right belly button scoops up and under that rib cage. Keep all of that connected. Push down through the floor, keep those elbow pits rotated forward. That's your back. We're going to go back 30 seconds. And then we're just going to reach the feet back. The wider the feet, the slightly easier the plank will be. And then try to keep the chest right in line with the hands. Eyes gaze slightly forward. Same tuck of that belly button up and under. This time you can still play with squeezing the glutes a little bit, reaching the heels back a little bit, but still pressing to the floor, getting those lats engaged to stabilize the shoulders, keeping that belly button scooped. 30 seconds of high plank, and then 30 seconds each side, low plank, side plank. So elbow just about underneath the shoulder. You're going to stack your feet. Ideally, you want your hip bone lined up with your elbow, lined up with your knees, lined up with your ankles. And then you're just going to reach the hip up, right? But you're squeezing for these lower abs. You should feel these lower abs or these abs on the underside engage. So you want to keep the shoulders stacked. Push down to the forearms, stay lifted. And we're just going to hold each side of this 30 seconds, right? Really staying connected on what other side is on the other side of your plank. So it'll end up being 2 total minutes of working on the plank, no rest between. Try and flip one right into the next, right into the next, aside from whatever starting a timer, so that you build up all that work in the core, right? Okay, so quick time exercises for